Hi Capricorn, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your April 2021 Bridging the Gap love reading. Thanks to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what the Bridging the Gap spread is, the way it works is cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. We'll get the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through all that, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight after the Bridging the Gap dynamic comes into play. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel more like it's the other way around in your connection, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have Justice, which is Libra energy. 10 of Coins, which is Virgo energy. And 4 of Coins, which is actually Capricorn energy. So could definitely be you guys on this side. But really what stands out to me here with Justice, especially given that this is for you guys, Libra is your 10th house of career and social status. And we see the 10 of Coins there. Could just be saying that in the past you might have really just been putting a lot of energy into your career. And, possibly, you might have had that person on your mind a lot, because if we look at the artwork there, we could see that person doesn't look like they're physically in the room with this person, and then obviously it looks like she has the pentacles, but she doesn't necessarily look too happy, if we look at her facial expression. So it could just be saying, in the past you might have realized that in pursuit of your career goals, you might have had your relationship fall by the wayside, and you might have attempted to restore balance in that in the past. All right, past energy on their side, we have the moon. So could just be saying that there might have been some confusion around the connection. Maybe you weren't sure of their feelings toward you or vice versa. If you were just putting a lot of energy into your career, maybe they felt like you weren't interested. So they might not have known which way to go with the connection. That's one way I could see it playing out. For some of you, this could also just be pointing to focus on your relationships too, because even though a lot of times we view the moon as Pisces energy, we're also reminded of the fact that the moon is the ruler of Cancer, which is your opposite sign. So that's what I see there. Present energy on your side, we have Balance, which is actually Sagittarius energy. So this could just be saying that you guys actually feel like you have a balance now, right? So maybe you've struggled with that in the past as far as, okay, maybe putting way too much into your career and not enough energy into your love lives or friendships or whatever the case may be. And now you're actually finding a healthy balance that works for you, and that could be improving the energy of the connection. All right, in the present position on their side, we have Strength. So this is actually the major arcana card for Leo, and for you guys that is your 8th house, so it could just be saying that the intimacy could be increasing around the connection. In some decks, the Strength card is actually referred to as the Lust card, so it could just be saying that you guys might be moving in that direction a bit with the connection. But more than anything, I feel like this might be them, trying to get you to be a bit more expressive around the connection. So, it looks like she's trying to pry the mouth open there. So it could just be saying, one of those things where, especially if you guys were just so heavily dedicated to your career, that might be them just trying to see where you're at emotionally with the connection, trying to see if you let them know what's going through your mind. All right. And in the future position on your side, we have the Ace of Arrows and the 5 of Cups in reverse. So this is actually Scorpio energy here. And really with the 5 of Cups, when it's in the upright, it talks about disappointments around the situation, tending to see more of the negative aspects of a situation as opposed to the positives. And so with that in reverse, it looks like it could just be saying that you're coming out of that now. So, maybe if you... I feel like that's just a continuation of the balance energy, right? Like maybe in the past, like I was saying, you might have felt like it wasn't possible to be able to maintain a healthy relationship and have, and hit your career goals, right? Or something along those lines. But now it feels like you're coming out of that, and it looks like you could just be restoring the balance and a connection with this person, and that helps alleviate any disappointment you might have had, as far as if you thought the connection might have been lost, right? Or maybe there was too much damage done, things along those lines. And future energy on their side, we have the Knave of Pentacles. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Pentacles. And it always sticks out to me in this deck in particular, just, even though it's supposed to be a Page of Pentacles, there's a lot of cup energy in there, and it just seems to have a much more passionate vibe to it. But this could just be saying that this is them, trying to, again, I feel like they're definitely looking to ignite the passion within the connection, but also try to move it towards something more stable, given that this is Pentacle energy, so that's what I'm seeing there. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the King of Coins. So this is actually Taurus energy. So could just be as simple as a timeline for some of you, saying that, as we move toward the end of April and when Taurus season would start, that's when you guys are going to be feeling that balance, feeling like you're ready for something more stable. Of course, this could represent your energy as well, since you're also an earth sign. See if anything else comes to mind with that. And I mean, for you guys, also, Taurus is your fifth house of romance and creativity. So again, it could just be saying that maybe because you're more secure with your finances, now you feel ready and able to move forward toward more of a romantic connection. Bottom of the deck on their side, we have Justice. So interesting, we see that in the past position on your side. So it could just be saying that, if you did come in to restore the balance, then that was them, where they. What always stands out to me with this Justice card in particular is that if we look at her facial expression, she's looking towards the cards on the left side, but then her legs are leaning away. So, they might have been at a point where they might have been considering possibly moving on just because they're like, well, if Capricorn's not putting any energy into the connection, I just might have to go elsewhere. But to me, this also points to fairness too, which is to say, I think might have been Sagittarius had a similar theme to their reading where, if you were going through something busy, as far as your career goes, if you would have just been open with them and communicating that, I think that things would have worked out fine, where they would have appreciated you letting them know the situation and probably would have been able to keep themselves busy in the meantime as well. And that could even be maybe what does restore the balance if you let them know, hey, this is what happens sometimes, right? Or what happened in the past. If you just cleared that up, that could be what restores the balance and the connection. All right, so moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we'll see if we get anything from the Aqua Moonlight deck here. And I did pre-shuffle this deck before we started recording. But what I'm looking for here is just some jumpers as far as unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while without any cards coming up, I'll just move on to the next Oracle deck. But sometimes we get additional messages here. So we'll see if we get any. Oop, actually got a couple that fell. So let me now see if we get any from them to you, and then I'll pick up those, looks like 2 cards. But yeah, let me see. All right, nothing coming out on their side, but let me pick up those cards that fell, see what your side would say. Okay. So we have absence. All right, well, doesn't want to focus, but there we go. It says, as more time passes by, I feel a deeper void without you in my life. So yeah, for the majority of you, I feel like it really was something where, especially given that, again, the Libra energy for you guys is your 10th house of career, it could have just been a situation where you might have had to pour a lot of energy into that area of your lives, and then, you might have had to leave this connection behind. And now it looks like, like I said, it looks like you might have even achieved that financial success, but it might have felt a bit empty, as opposed to actually having that person in your lives. And then second card that came up says freedom. It says, I can't be tied down right now. I have too many interests. Now, I do have to say, for the majority of you, it's not that I don't see that message would resonate with the cards on the side, but it does seem more like, again, maybe something that was more the situation in the past, right? And really, what I wonder if maybe the difficulty was is you never necessarily communicated that to that person, right? So that could have been what might have caused some difficulty within the connection, but hopefully that resonated with you guys. And then lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. Same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck as well, but here we're just looking for one card and we'll wrap up. Right, there we go. So you guys got Go the Distance. There we go. There's the artwork, and the number is 47. So we'll see what it says. Okay, it says endurance, strength, the long haul. The Oracle's message. To bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. So definitely an interesting message there. And, again, I feel like that could be a beneficial thing to keep in mind for both your career and for your love lives, right? So hopefully that resonated with you. And then the relationship message says you either are in or are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? So, pretty positive message there as well. And as I was reading that, I was thinking about the fact that we are about to have that full moon in Libra again. So going back to 10th house energy for you guys, your career. So that could be part of why this has shown up in the past too, which is saying whatever you might have been doing career-wise, a big project you might have been working on, for example, looks like it might be wrapping up. And then it could just be as simple as that, saying that now that project is wrapped up, you're able to put more energy into the relationship, and maybe in the process too, you're figuring out a better work-life balance as far as that goes too. But hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.